Guys, you're not going to believe what happened in the Senate Judiciary Committee. Well, Senator Josh Hall just caught a Biden official red-handed. And I mean literally red-handed, holding the receipts right in front of his face.
Talk to me about, why is it that denying policing to the most vulnerable communities is a solution? I know that's what the blue cities are doing, but why is that a good idea?
Well, look, I in no way stand with defunding law enforcement. I mean,
that's what your report says.
Sheriff Mike Sheridan, who taught me how to drive when I was 16 years old.
Wait. Your report, when your executive director said you wanted to defund the police, do you renounce this report? Mr. Jackson, do you renounce the report that you authored as executive director?
We're looking at a witness who claims he never supported defunding the police, even though he literally wrote a guide on exactly how to do it. And wait until you find out what he proposed spending that money on instead. 2 spirit safe spaces. If that term doesn't ring a bell, don't feel bad. It seems like even the person who authored the report doesn't quite understand it either. Let's watch what happened.
Thanks to all the witnesses for being here. Ms. Cook, I want to say thank you especially to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for telling your story. And I'm sorry for what you and your family have had to endure. And it's powerful to have you here today. Thank you very much. I want to talk about some of these policies that have gotten to where we are today. Mr. Jackson, if I could just start with you. You were deputy director in the Biden White House for gun violence and a special assistant to the president. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You're also affiliated with the Community Justice Action Fund. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm also a survivor of gun violence.
You were their executive director. When was that, the Community Justice Action Fund?
2021 to 2023.
And you're affiliated with them now?
Yes, as executive advisor.
Okay. The Community Justice Action Fund, do you disclose your donors?
Yes.
All of the donors are public?
Yes.
You're funded by the Tides Advocacy Group, among others?
They're a fiscal sponsor.
This is, right.
They
that would be
handle
a donor.
our HR.
Yeah. This is a George Soros funded group?
No.
He's one of the donors?
No.
He's a donor to the Tides Advocacy Group.
Yeah, that's our fiscal sponsor. So they handle our HR, our back office, our operations.
Great. Okay. Great. So in other words,
we're one of 300 organizations.
Right. That they run. You are a subset of them.
Pay them to be a fiscal sponsor.
Well, you are a subset of that organization, which he helps to fund. Right. Okay. All right, just wanted to get a level set here. So I want to ask you about some of the policies that you've advocated because they're exactly what we see implemented in these blue cities, like defunding the police.
No.
Oh, indeed.
That's not. We advocate for.
Wait, I haven't asked a question yet. We'll get to. I've got a lot of questions. Believe me, and I'll give you time. So let's talk about this report that you issued when you were executive director, a policymaker's playbook. And I'll ask you to enter it into the record, Mr. Chairman.
Great.
Without objection.
Thank you. In this report, you advocate, and I quote now, defunding the police because the long-term goal is fundamentally to reimagine how the state serves its citizens in the project of public safety. You go on to say police departments traumatize residents through a destructive cycle of racist over-policing, and the answer is not to add any more money to police budgets. Talk to me about, why is it that denying policing to the most vulnerable communities is a solution? I know that's what the blue cities are doing, but why is that a good idea?
Well, look, I in no way stand with defunding law enforcement.
That's what your report says.
Sheriff Mike Sheridan, who taught me how to drive when I was 16 years old.
Wait. Your report, when your executive director said you wanted to defund the police, do you renounce this report? Mr. Jackson, do you renounce the report that you authored as executive director? Here it is.
You're the second senator to bring up an op-ed
This isn't an op-ed. This is your report, a policymaker's playbook to reduce gun violence without policing communities.
Okay.
Community Justice Action Fund, copyright 2023, when you were executive director. Now you say you don't know anything about it. Now you say that you haven't heard of it, just like the Democrats who all of a sudden say, oh, we're all for the police. They've been advocating defunding them for years.
Okay, well, you can look at documents or you can look at results.
My question is, do you renounce this report now? You say you no longer agree with this.
And my answer is that I led the efforts to invest $42 billion in law enforcement.
You've advocated defunding the police as executive director of an organization that you still lead and are affiliated with.
Never see me advocate for that directly. What you see me advocate for
what is this,
is
then?
A comprehensive approach to reducing violence.
Right. The comprehensive approach is defunding the police, which is what this says.
The entire time.
This is so typical of what the Democrats do now. After your policies have transparently failed and led to the deaths of millions of Americans, now you say you've never heard of defunding the police. Your own report recommends it on page after page After page, let me ask about something else you say. Here's what you say we ought to invest in. Instead of funding the police, here's what we ought to invest in. We need to invest in programs that acknowledge the need for safe space initiatives led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender nonconforming people. What's two-spirit?
Well, look, I don't know exactly. You guys are pulling some interesting quotes.
This
here.
is from your report.
If you look at the report, the focus is on investing in violence intervention, outreach workers.
What is you
victim
say? You
services.
say that you shouldn't invest in the police, but we ought to invest in two-spirit community programs that acknowledge two-spirit.
Look, we are not going to discriminate
what is that?
We're not going to discriminate against any nonprofit that
What
wants
is
to
a
help us
two-spirit?
prevent violence in
What
our
is
community.
two-spirit? You say don't fund the police, but do fund programs that create safe spaces for two-spirit people. What is? I just want to know. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
Well, I honestly, I'm not completely aware of the language or the
You wrote
spirit
the
of how that was
report?
written. But what I'm telling you is that what is
a two-spirit individual? I mean, really, this is your policymaker's playbook. You are the witness called by the Democrats on this committee, so I assume you reflect their views.
Well,
you don't want to fund the police. You want to fund safe spaces for two-spirit individuals. What is a two-spirit person?
I feel like I'm looking at a two-faced individual because you talk about reducing
Oh, no, sir.
violence.
You're looking at somebody who's
You're also
reading you
speaking
your
out
own
against
words, and I'd like to hear an
violence
answer.
programs.
Here's the answer. The answer is you don't have any solutions. You want to invest in gobbledygook and take away money from police officers who actually keep our communities safe, and when you're called on the record, you deny it. It's all there in
invested
black
in
and
law
white,
enforcement.
and your
We
record is
invested
there
in
in black and
community
white,
solutions.
and it's a disgrace.
We reduced homicides by 31%, and as someone who's been shot and nearly killed, I take offense that you would think that
I
the
take
last
offense
13
that you
years
won't answer my
were not
questions,
focused on
that you
reducing
deny your
violence.
own words, and that you are leading this committee astray. And frankly, sir, your policies are absurd. They're absurd.
All right, there's a lot going on here, but let's focus on the most glaring issue first, the receipt, the actual physical receipt. You've got Mr. Jackson sitting right there, a former deputy director from the Biden White House testifying under oath. Senator Hawley puts a straightforward question to him. You push for defunding the police, correct? And Jackson responds with a flat no. He completely denies it. He states, I absolutely do not support defunding law enforcement. Normally in Washington, D.C., that's the end of it. It becomes a back and forth with no proof. But Hawley pulled a brilliant legal strategy. He didn't just search for it online. He brought the actual printed copy of the report that Jackson himself wrote, a policymaker's playbook. And what's written in it, it clearly states the objective is to defund the police. You seriously cannot make this stuff up. It's the typical Washington dance. Back when defunding the police was popular in 2020 and 2021, these activists were all in. They documented it officially. They raised money promoting it. But now that crime rates are climbing and the public opinion polls look awful, they've conveniently forgotten everything. Jackson sits there claiming, I never said that, while Hawley reads his exact words right back to him. That's genuinely hard to watch. But the real shocker, the absolute best part, is what they wanted to use instead of police. Did you notice that list? Rather than cops, they wanted safe space programs for, among other groups, two-spirit individuals. Now, I did some research to be thorough. Two-spirit is a term some indigenous cultures use for someone who embodies both masculine and feminine spirits. It's a cultural idea, but here's where the problem comes in. We're discussing violent crime here. We're talking about murders, carjackings, and real threats on our streets. And this administration's official plan, documented clearly in writing, was to pull funding away from the officers with badges and weapons who stop killers and redirect it to safe space programs for a very particular, very small cultural group. And then there's my favorite moment. When Hawley asks him, what exactly is a two-spirit person? Jackson completely freezes up. He responds, I don't know the language. Wait, you wrote the report. You served as the executive director. Understanding this is literally your responsibility. It just shows that much of the time these officials are simply copying and pasting the newest trendy buzzwords into their policy papers without actually understanding what they mean. They're playing games with public safety just to earn diversity credit. Hawley hit the nail on the head at the conclusion. It's complete nonsense. It's empty language crafted to disguise the fact that they're pulling resources away from law enforcement. And when you confront them about it, they accuse you of being two-faced. No, sir. Two-faced is putting defund the police in your own playbook and then standing before the Senate Judiciary Committee claiming you support the cops. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe these officials genuinely support these policies, or are they simply banking on us not reading the details? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more analysis like this. See you next time.